What he did to the broadcast industry allows guys like me to do this.
Fake. Prescott has plenty of time. Ferguson wide open. Look at him go. Jumping over people at the 30 and then head down inside the 25. He leapt right over Jason Pinnock, and this crowd goes nuts.
Oh, this is not good. You called it DiCaprio. The Titanic might be happening for Kansas City here.
Here comes Allen with the keep and the leap. Oh, what a run by Josh Allen.
I mean, he's an alien.
Harris. Stiff arm by Najee Harris. Wow, we've seen some extra effort by Pittsburgh so far today.
At the running back to play the style of football that he'd really like to be able to play right now.
3rd down and 3. Quick throw. What a catch. Samuel stays upright. Terrific catch and run. One-on-one with Ramsey. Can't bring him down. Samuel. Highlight reel. Touchdown.
Have been in control of that game throughout. Again, Cincinnati could move up to the 2, and Buffalo could fall back to the 3 if the Bills lose here. Cincinnati goes on to a win, which you might expect. Baltimore shorthanded. Here comes Hines again. Oh my goodness! Can he do it twice? Is this for real? Can you believe it? Even a little Dion strut to the end zone. 101 yards.
Dak organizing the guys. Colts bring 5. Prescott throws underneath, complete. CeeDee Lamb, was he down? They say no for now, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. CeeDee got spun around, but they ruled no body part was down. Stephon Gilmore stunned.
More recently with the Lions. Cooper back to Blau. Deep downfield for Green. And he catches it. A.J. Green will take it all the way into the end zone. And that is a Cardinals touchdown.
He's got it. You go to the Sonic movies?
Yeah, he might not like that.
2nd and 10. Jones. There's Barkley in the open field. Oh, what a move! Saquon Barkley down the sideline and out of bounds.
They're bringing it.
Pressure up the middle. Purdy checks it down to McCaffrey. McCaffrey, this is dangerous. McCaffrey barreling through tacklers. Oh, McCaffrey all the way down to the 15-yard line.
About doing it the right way.
The 6-year man out of Miami, Njoku. Quick toss, Cooper, there he is, didn't drop that one, and slipped past the defender, and escaped Ridgeway, and got all the way to the end zone for a touchdown.
2nd and 9. Pickett flips it to Harris. Oh, he leapfrogs, and he gets down inside the 40.
There are some people do it better than him.
Hurts keeps around the edge and bends it back down, fighting for the end zone. What a run! Touchdown Philadelphia. 2nd of the night for Hurts.
It's his 3rd consecutive double-digit sack season. Fields moves in the pocket and gets away. Justin Fields takes off, turns a sack into a big gain and a 1st down. Justin Fields, otherworldly, stays in, steps out at the 9.
They try and get with Derrick Henry this season.
We'll hand it off to Henry, and Henry up the middle. Looks a little move. 15, 10, 5. Did he get there? Touchdown. $29 yards.
You never know with these guys. From the 2, Mahomes escaping. On the move, Mahomes stops, spins, flips it forward for the touchdown to Edwards-Helaire. Mahomes straddled the line of scrimmage, flipped it to Edwards-Helaire for the score.
How are you going to ignore the weather? The weather is what it is. Here's Harris. Harris turns the corner. 10, 5, leaping for the end zone. What a run by Najee Harris.
There's certainly plenty of time with timeouts and the 2-minute warning to work the offense.
Burrow throwing this side of the field. Jamar Chase with the catch and up the sideline. And there he goes. Jamar Chase to the end zone for the touchdown. Barkley. Nice cut. There he goes. Saquon to the end zone. Touchdown Giants.
Anticipates and finds Wilson, who breaks tackles. Garrett Wilson still going. Down to the 25-yard line, 43 yards. Biggest play of the day comes from the rookie.
Mac Hollins out on defense. He's all the way back. As Stevenson
is anyone going to
outside the 30, flips it back. Stanford band nowhere in sight. It's picked off. Oh no! Unbelievable! Oh wow! Incredible! Chandler Jones takes it in and wins the game for the Raiders. Have you ever seen an ending like that?
I have never seen anything like that. I have no idea why he was doing that. Oh my goodness!
Some easy opportunities out there.
Give him a gain of 7 on the play, and now Najee Harris breaks one into New Orleans territory and breaks a tackle to get some more. Down to the 21-yard line. And Najee Harris a little bit shaken up after he barreled over P.J. Williams.
First down, it's Mostert with a carry again. Shedding tackles. Mostert down the sideline. He's got speed. And Mostert still on his feet, dragging Bills inside the 10.
Gibson along with Dominique Robinson. And now the Lions keep it on the ground on 3rd and 18. And Swift will pick up a Detroit first down.
And now on 3rd down, Fields will yank it, and there's room to run for Fields. Fields,
baby.
Turn it on the speed. Fields on the angle, trying to outrace Okudah, and he'll beat him to the goal line for the touchdown.
Oh wow! He's already the leading rusher on 3rd downs.
You know, Jay, it feels like it's been one-sided in terms of what Houston has been able to do with its defense. Just hasn't been the case on the scoreboard. Just a 5-point lead. What a punt here by Johnston. Peoples-Jones going to play it from the 25. Breaks a couple of tackles. Peoples-Jones still going. Maintains his balance. It's a foot race. Peoples-Jones will score. A brilliant run back. 76 yards from Peoples-Jones. No flags.
U.S. Bank Stadium. Beautiful stadium. One of my favorites in the league. Now open for its 7th year. Kene Nwangwu will take it back for the 4. Patriots doing a good job, but Nwangwu gets freed on the sideline. He's in bounds. He's going. Nwangwu 30, 20. He will score.
2nd and 5.
Yeah, he said he was worried about his durability when running in there in the high traffic areas, but no issues.
Mahomes throwing and completing. Kadarius Toney, little shake and bake to the 30, working on Deron Harmon.
That's unfortunate. He's had a great start to this game, but you mentioned it. Michael Gallup can continue with T.Y. Hilton.
4-man rush. Prescott going deep. Has Lamb. He's got it. And the spin. And he's in. Touchdown, Dallas.
To the outside goes the pass. And
3rd down and 1. Algier off the
Mariota's off to the races.
Mariota faked it to Algier, and Mariota picks up the 1st down to the 24-yard line. Worst starting field position of the day for New England. From their 2-yard line, Stevenson coming out of the end zone, found a hole. Ramondre Stevenson finally taken down at the 27-yard line.
Wiping away the play and then the 5-yard penalty. So it's 3rd and 9. Jones will dump it off for Barkley, who gets away from Morrow. Tries to make it a highlight. Gets a block from Jones. 1st down. Saquon. 16 yards, making brilliance out of nothing.
Excellent job by him. First contact wins, shoving people around.
Fields, what a move to move past Nixon. And Justin Fields ahead of the field and gone. What a run.
Blitz is on, down the middle. He's got the wide open Hopkins with a spinning broken tackle, taking it into the end zone. Touchdown Cardinals. DeAndre Hopkins.
Who wouldn't? 3rd and 7. For the pattern, Allen taking off. Can he get there? Stiff arm to get there. 1st down.
Stidham throws. There's Hunter Renfrow. 1st down and then some.
Take a look at the updated NFC North standings. Just a wild finish to the NFL as the playoff picture starts to materialize. This is Akers. Breaking free. Akers still going. Chargers giving chase. Finally bring him down. It's Kenneth Murray.
Henry, left side to the edge. 1st down and throws a stiff arm.
Swift. DeAndre Swift. And touchdown Lions.
Preston still working here in Green Bay. 2nd and 20. Montgomery tries to get some of it back, and he will. A lot more. He's going to get the 1st down. What a run by Montgomery for 28 yards.
All season long watching him, he's done well.
They get it into the hands of Velus Jones. And Jones keeps going all the way to the end zone.
Oh, wow. He never stepped out of bounds.
So Velus Jones with a Bears touchdown.
White. Nice patience. And he's free. Rashad White. 1 man to beat, and he shoves him down. He just threw Diggs out of the club here in Munich. Gain of 28. 180.
Inside. Handoff. Chubb keeps his balance. Inside the 30, cuts it back. Beautiful run all the way to the 13-yard line.
Keep going for 1 really doesn't do anything for you.
Murray. Running out of time. On the move. Coming back this way. Dancing and looking and directing traffic. And look at the length of this play. Murray to the 10, to the 5, and he's going to convert it. That's unbelievable.
Mike Davis in the backfield, Duvernay in motion. Fake it. Jackson's got a running lane. Oh, abracadabra move by Jackson for a 1st down. So 2:28 on the clock. No timeouts remaining. They're going to set up the screen with Dalvin Cook and let him chew up the yards. Dalvin Cook! There he goes! Dalvin Cook is going to be caught up with blockers inside the 5. Touchdown! 64 yards! Magic in Minneapolis!
Bad center quarterback exchange that really flipped the game early in favor of the Panthers. Chenault with a move and gets the first down. Fighting. Not ruled out of bounds. Chenault all the way down around the 40 of the Lions. That typifies the effort and the performance from Carolina today.
2nd and 7. Play action. Josh Allen open over the middle. It's Dawson Knox into Miami territory, rumbling down the sideline. Knox inside the 30 before Landon Roberts can finally yank him down.
However, he has played guard. He played some guard in 2019 and 2020 with the Eagles. Here is Pollard on that side, trying to hit a home run. Tony Pollard is down inside the 20, and Peters was right there to throw the block that helped spring him.
Arizona.
3rd down and 9. Fields has time. Looking deep. Not there. Bernard chasing him. Fields eludes him. Fields is going to take off. Fields has room to run. He's got the first down into Houston territory and out of bounds.
Purdy. Great protection and wide open is Kittle. Roaming free. Diggs can't take him down. Nobody else can, and it's a touchdown. 54 yards.
3rd down and 4. Pickett fires. He's got Freiermuth again on 3rd down, and he stays on his feet. Down the sideline. Stiff arm at the 25, and finally brought down at the 12.
A deep drop lets the routes develop. One of his first downfield shots has Garrett Wilson. Makes field goal miss. Turns on the afterburners. He's gone. Touchdown Jets. New York takes the lead.
Tonight's the 5th different starting setup in 8 games. Dillon, patient, into the secondary again. Big run, A.J. Dillon inside the 20. One Boston College Eagle brings down another. Matt Milano tackles him at the 16-yard line.
Rush coming. Forced to throw, coming back for it, breaking a tackle. Slayton, catch and run, down the sideline. Slayton, twirling, touchdown.
180.
Play action from Jacoby, throws, and the pass is caught. Donovan Peoples-Jones. A leap and a big play.
From midfield. P.J. Walker on 2nd down. Throws, it's caught. And Marshall picks up a first down and more. Terrace Marshall still going. Finally brought down at the 10-yard line after a 40-yard catch and run.
The quick throws. Tyler's toss is good. Back to Rondale Moore. Stretches out of it. He's going to go into the end zone, and that's going to be a Cardinal touchdown.
They're 52% on 3rd and long, which is like unheard of.
Kelce's not in for this play. Mahomes is dancing around. Now finds an open man. It's Smith-Schuster bouncing off the hit, and here he goes to the end zone for the touchdown.
Smith-Schuster getting a little yoga session, blue guy in, but that was incredible. Mahomes does most of the heavy lifting.
That's what made the Bengals great last year. That's what they will do again this season. No tentativeness. Final seconds of the first quarter. Burrow on time. Tyler Boyd breaks away, and now it's a foot race. Boyd will take it for the touchdown. Cincinnati gets the score at the end of the first quarter. 56 yards. A catch and run for Boyd.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, excuse me. 3rd down at 15. Goff's pass caught by Swift. And Swift will take it all the way for a Lions score.
Here he is trying to make a man miss in space, and Taylor, and does, and has the first down.
And Deebo Samuel is inside the...
Get those calls communicated.
Rashad Penny straight ahead. Rashad Penny is going to take it in for a Seahawk touchdown. What a turn of events.
That was a big interception now. Sets up Derek Carr on the 30-yard line.
Jacobs. 5. Jacobs breaking free, going to the end zone for the touchdown.
You know, to have a shot at the playoffs, you know, for him to come and return and hopefully get hot at the end of the season.
This is Chubb breaking free up the sideline to the end zone for the touchdown. On 2nd and 8. Henry again. And Henry finding room on the left side. Across the 40 to midfield. And Henry off to the races and is brought down from behind. Caught from behind by Steven Nelson. But what a pickup for Derrick Henry.
Ellinger under center. And they go to the ground game. This is Zach Moss. Shot out of a cannon. Moss taking no prisoners. Inside Houston's 30-yard line.
He came in for Nick Scott, who's been out with a shoulder. And in the backfield, Walker able to spin away from Floyd. There's Geno out there blocking, and Walker turns nothing into something. And a first down out of bounds at the 36.
And Peterson was just the perfect tonic. And exactly the kind of coach that they needed at that moment. Zach Moss. Moss still on his feet. And he is in. Touchdown. Zach Moss flexing his muscle.
There's nobody that knows Tom Brady better than him.
There is a nice move by Keyshawn Vaughn. He got the first down, maneuvering around Richie Grant, and he ends up running it.
31 inside Jones. Good spin, Aaron Jones. Across the 40 and trying to break to the secondary. Kirby Joseph, the rookie, holds on to him. First down at the 48. Pick up a 17.
Cooper back to Blau. Deep downfield for Green. And he catches it. A.J. Green will take it all the way into the end zone. And that is a Cardinals touchdown.